We are live, and we are going to be talking about what this former BlackRock executive said about the chosen crypto that they will be using. And it's not that this guy is fully retired from TradFi. They're actually over at SharpLink, which is one of the largest Ethereum DATs, digital asset treasuries, which again is really, really crazy. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Plus, we're going to talk about the XRP spot ETFs. I'm going to tell you the difference between Rex Osprey and Canary. We're going to talk about what Brian Armstrong said. There's actually just really a lot to cover today in a short amount of time because that's what we do here. Also, shout out chicken bone broth with turmeric and lemon ginger and something else. I forgot what it is. But anyways, cheers and welcome back to the O Show. Everything crypto every day. I'm WendyO, and thank you guys so much for being here. Let's go ahead and give a special shout out to our channel members. Thank you guys so much for showing up. We've got Mr. Dale, Mr. Lawrence. Lawrence, I'm doing okay. I'm getting better every day, but I'm here. Mr. R, Mr. D, Mr. John Legends, gorgeous Alexandra, Sparkwater, and everybody else for showing up. Let's go ahead and get into it because we've got a lot of stuff to bring you guys, all right? And yes, I know we are still not opened up yet. Apparently, they're supposed to vote on opening up the market. Let me actually see what this is over here. Let's go ahead and see. Maybe it's the banana tariffs everybody's arguing about, which again is super, super ridiculous. No, it's this over here. U.S. House to vote on bill that could end longest ever government shutdown, which again, this has been the longest ever government shutdown. And it's honestly just a hot mess. I'm so irritated at both sides. For not being good public servants and them not putting their constituents first, their people first, because we're the ones that vote for them and pay their salaries with our taxpayer dollars. But anyways, the Senate bill did pass a bill to end the shutdown, and they sent it to the House. And the bill does fund the government through January 2026, brings back federal workers, but the shutdown won't officially end until the House approves the bill and President Trump signs it, and the House is set to vote today at 7 p.m. ET. However, my only concern is that they're going to be funding things through January 2026, but that's right around the corner. Okay. And I understand that we have holiday season that's coming around. So that's going to be good because, again, there's lots of people that need lots of things. Public servants aren't, when I say public servants, I'm talking about like the upper echelon, like Congress, the House, the Senate, Assembly people, all that type of stuff. I'm talking about them. I'm not talking about public servants that are not part of the elites, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not talking about military. I'm not talking about those that have different positions that get funded and whatnot. They're just regular people for the most part. So hopefully they figure things out, but it's really annoying because not only that, but it is impacting the market. So there's that. And apparently there's some sort of weird tariff on bananas or something. Bessent we'll see a substantial tariff news update in a couple days. It includes coffee, bananas, and other fruits. Bessent emphasized the cuts will target goods we don't grow here. Lauren said, I heard provisions are in the bill to prevent it from happening again. They say that, but you know how these people work. Oh, somebody said 4 p.m. EST. It's going to be happening today. Anyways, let's go ahead and cover crypto stuff because that's why we're here. We're not here to talk about this type of boring stuff, okay? So this is the article. Ethereum is the infrastructure for Wall Street, says former BlackRock executive. Joseph Chalom is betting that his next act on Ethereum, calling it the only chain institutions can trust to digitize finance. And this is a very, very interesting take. Very, very, very interesting take. Why is it an interesting take? Well, because he's saying this because he is one of those that is in charge of the DAT. Let me go ahead and pull that up over here. My brain's still a little bit foggy. But he's also, he's a former executive of BlackRock and current CEO of SharpLink. And he's saying that Ethereum is infrastructure Wall Street will build on, which I can agree to that to an extent, because again, BlackRock has not applied for any type of other crypto spot ETFs yet, which is really interesting. They just have their Bitcoin and Ethereum. Interesting stuff, or maybe they're just kind of taking their time. And shout out to Gamer. Thank you for being here. And of course to Mixing. So he says Ethereum is going to provide trust, security, liquidity institutions needs. I mean, it is the second different crypto, second largest crypto by market cap, I believe. I mean, XRP might flip that again. And way back in the day, it used to flip Ethereum all the time when there's a lot less liquidity. So we'll see what happens with that. But he says that he sees Ethereum providing trust, security, liquidity institutions need, and that Ethereum is multi-purpose, supporting finance, lending, NFTs, and trading, and believes it will serve the foundation as a foundation for digital global finance, bringing TradFi and DeFi. But then again, he's from SharpLink, right? And SharpLink, the Ethereum treasury firm, holds over $3 billion in Ethereum. Nearly all of its stake, which is good, but at the same time, like, they want to provide DeFi level returns with lower risk by staking it, but at the same time, like, he's kind of biased. Let's face it, he's biased in this. So, you know, there's always this argument, like right now the argument is Solana versus XRP, which they're completely different projects. Like, it doesn't even make sense to compare them, in my opinion. I would feel more comfortable comparing Solana and Ethereum. That's what I would compare. But again, who knows? So with that being said, that's kind of what he's saying. So we should probably put that on our trading, in our investing journal and our fundamentals and kind of focus on it. And this is why I'm calling for a $10,000 Ethereum, because if these guys are super bullish on it and spending and, you know, just shilling, I'm hoping that our bags will pump. There was a price prediction for $1 million Bitcoin in 2026 and $100,000 Ethereum in 2026. So again, I'm going to be selling majority of my Ethereum once we start pumping around 10,000, 15,000, and we'll see what happens. And again, I might change my trading and investing. But let's go ahead and take a look at the crypto markets, and we'll get into the rest of the news. So right now on the daily, we're not seeing a lot of great gains here, but that's okay. That happens. It's life. It's part of life over here. So that's okay. And then as far as Bitcoin goes, I think there was $100 million liquidated? I don't even keep track with the liquidations right now, but Bitcoin is actually not doing great. Really not doing great. We're actually dumping right now. Could this be because of tariffs? Could this be because of just market sentiment in general? Yesterday, we talked about really great inflow numbers that we saw with the Bitcoin spot ETF. So why are we dumping? Well, it looks like we're a little bit toppish over here, apparently. And the price is not looking good. I think it's crucial for us to get back above $107,000, but it's not looking likely. Also, Market Cypher printed a red dot that indicates a little bit of lower price action. And when we do take a look at our big chart with all of our lines, it is looking more likely that we are going to retest some of these lows, possibly below $100,000 Bitcoin. If that happens, we will also see lower Ethereum, possibly at $3,000. If we break below $3,000, things will get ugly. Solana looks like it wants to retest 147. XRP trading at 235 heading down. Chainlink $15.30, barely trying to get back above 1556. ADA Cardano is just dropping despite all of the bullish fundamental news, being part of ISO 222. I dropped a video for you guys yesterday. HBAR Hedera looks like it might drop to 16 cents. We're just not looking super great right now. So we're just going to cover news today. We're going to cover fundamentals, and we're going to go about our day. So if you guys are actively trading this, please be careful. Also, if you'd like to trade with me, I'm on Kraken. If you sign up and you use the ref link down below or above, and you deposit and trade like $100 worth, they give you $25 of XRP. That's something that doesn't interest you. We also have links for iTrust. That's going to be down below too. That's if you want to, merge over your TradFi assets and, get into crypto, but completely up to you. Now, let's talk about a little bit about the U.S. Senate and XRP. So, U.S. Senate bill could officially classify XRP as a commodity under the CFTC oversight, which is really important. We do know XRP is not a security on the secondary market because of the lawsuit that happened when the SEC unjustly sued Ripple. But this might actually. And I want to say yesterday, we also talked about the CFTC kind of taking ownership of classifying things, not the SEC. That was something that was kind of floated around, but we're still essentially shut down right now. So it's a hot mess. But that article says that the new bipartisan discussion draft from the Senate AG committee proposes classifying XRP and other major cryptos as commodities, basically giving the CFTC control over regulation. And the legislation affirms self-custody rights and clarifies that software devs and blockchain infrastructure are not financial institutions for non-custodial roles. Great, fine, fantastic. And then as far as the XRP ETFs, let's go ahead and talk about that because there is a difference. So the Rex Osprey ETF gives you guys exposure to XRP via funds structured under the Investment Company Act of 1940s. And again, we talked about this a lot, the Act of 1940s. So it holds a majority of its assets in XRP, but also invests in products and may use derivatives. So it's not a pure spot ETF. But the Canary Spot ETF is 100% pure spot ETF, and it's structured under the Securities Act of 1933. There's two of those different laws. One's in 1933, the other's in 1940s. Crazy, right? They have too many bills and too many laws about stuff. Make things simple. But again, this is going to launch allegedly this week. They said tomorrow on the 13th, pending final approval, and it's going to hold 100% XRP. So it's going to be 100% pure spot ETF. Now, let's talk about Chainlink a little bit, because it looks like DTCC lists Bitwise spot Chainlink ETF under ticker CLNK. What does that mean? Well, it basically means that the listing does not guarantee SEC approval, but it's considered a positive signal for launch. And it already has listed 5 XRP spot ETFs from Bitwise, Franklin, Templeton, 21 Shares, Canary, and CoinShares. So we're getting things are getting there. It's just taking a little bit of time. And as far as ETFs, let's go ahead and talk about our partners over at Hedera Foundation. They put out a really, really great report about the different highlights of Hedera. And they also announced that Hedera is official, or that ERC 3643 has officially arrived on Hedera, which is part of tokenization, aka RWAs. So basically, Asset Tokenization Studio now supports dual token standards, ERC 1400 and ERC 3643, basically allowing issuers to launch globally compliant modular digital assets on Hedera. Now, the reason why this is good is because when we're talking about compliant and digital assets, that just means that it's going to be good for institutions, okay? Now, shout out to Lawrence. He went ahead and gave me a $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Wendy's Brain and the low IQ stack here. 50. You saw the 50-year mortgage thing. Yeah, a lot of people got mad about that. Go Seahawks. But that's okay. This is the thing. If I was a first-time home buyer in my 20s, I would do the 50-year mortgage, probably. Because, yeah, I'll probably do a video explaining it, but people could get mad all they want about it. I honestly don't care. If I was in my 20s, yes. Today, no need to. Gamer also said the Link ETF will launch when the government opens back up. Yeah, I agree, because they have all these different types of partnerships and whatnot. So there's that. But anyways, let's go ahead and cover the Hedera October highlights, because there's quite a lot that happened. Hedera got a spot ETF along with Litecoin, and it's via Canary. It launched on NASDAQ. Daily active wallets are up 190% year over year in quarter 3. On chain transactions are up 386% in quarter 4. And smart contract volumes are up 88% quarter over quarter, quarter 3. Quarter over quarter and quarter 3. Too many quarters. NFT trading surged 16x to 4.9 million in quarter 3. And that's probably because of the dead pixels, because they're super awesome, amazing community. And then HBAR staking rewards increased 140% from previous rate. I'm going to be dropping a little video. Oh my gosh, my computer's not working well. I'm going to be dropping a little video for you guys about how to use Hashpack Wallet to stake your HBAR if that's something you're interested in. They went ahead and sent me some media. I'm like, heck, I'll go ahead and put something out for you. It's super easy to do. So if you're interested in that, great. If not, no worries. And then Agent Hustle launched Aegean DeFi, and Equity Lab and Assetensure unveiled verifiable AI governance on Hedera. So shout out to them. And then, like, this is the thing. Well, I'm not going to cover the Bitcoin spot ETFs because the number's down right now, or everybody's not happy about it. Apparently, too, Wu Blockchain put out this report. Basically said Bybit's Lazarus Security Lab released a report revealing that 166 blockchain networks, 16 were found to have built-in fund freezing capabilities, while another 19 could enable such features with Mirror Protocol. This is the thing. There's a lot of different talk about these types of things happening. And I'm not tech savvy enough to explain all of that to you, but you'll see this really happening majority with stablecoins, because they've got to be compliant and whatnot. So I would need to look at every single blockchain. I'm not looking at 166 different blockchains. But again, that's what they said. But at the end of the day, too, there are a lot of centralized features when it does come to decentralization, especially in crypto. Like, my personal opinion, Bitcoin is a first true decentralized crypto, and will always be, as opposed to some of the other majors, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because there's hacks, there's different things that happen. So I digress. Now, Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, he's a co-founder and CEO of Coinbase, says token sales are back. So basically over here, we talked about this yesterday, but I want to say we talked about it yesterday, but they're going to be launching an ICO token sale on Coinbase, and allegedly it's for US retail. You have to make sure you guys read the terms of services about that. I think they're starting with Monad, and they're going to be doing once a month, which is kind of like the whole John McAfee thing. So we'll see what ends up happening with that, but it's like kind of crazy, right? It feels like we're kind of redoing everything, but we're redoing it in a compliant manner. So I'm curious to see what's going to be, how this is going to work. Like, are these going to pump? Like, what's going to happen? So it's interesting though, because they're really kind of regulating it. It's not going to be decentralized like what we saw before, but even when it was decentralized, there's still a lot of manipulation that happened and whatnot. But apparently, early access for users to their favorite projects, the allocation algorithm rewards real loyal users, which Coinbase does have a lot of customer service issues and other issues. So who knows how that's going to go. I'm rooting for them because if they win, the industry wins. There will be no penalties for flipping, or there will be penalties for flipping or manipulative behavior. We need to know a little bit more about that because because they're basically giving rules as to what can happen and what can't happen. So I need a little bit more information here. And apparently it aims to align incentives between projects and their community. So we'll see how that works. But we're basically going to be getting like S1 forms, like when they go ahead and apply for, what is it called? For spot ETFs, like to the SEC and stuff like that. So we'll kind of see how that goes. It really depends. I hope it goes well, but we don't know. We're just here. I don't know. So yeah. All right. Now moving on from that, because there's more. Visa tests stablecoin payments with eyes on global gig economy. And this is from Bloomberg. So basically they're targeting digital creator payments, which is weird. They're going to use USDC, and payments can go directly to consumers' crypto wallets in addition to cards or bank accounts. There's not a lot of information here. They're talking about global gig workers. I don't know what a global gig worker is. Somebody wants to Google that, but I don't know what it is. And then kind of moving on from that, JP Morgan rolls out deposit token JPM coin and digital asset push, which is so funny because they hate crypto and they've always hated crypto. But I thought that was like I thought they had their own blockchain called that. It was supposed to be all private stuff, but now they're rolling it out. I don't know. But apparently deposit tokens are different than stables. They're backed one-to-one by bank deposits. You can earn yield, which that's another big topic in crypto right now, is the banks are fighting to basically say you can't earn yield on stable coins because if other like Coinbase and Kraken and all these big companies, they're allowing you to earn yield on stable coins, then it's going to harm their bottom line because they only give you like 0.01% or 0.03%, something stupid like that. So that's what's going on right now. But it's very interesting that they are going to giving yield on this, and they're back one-to-one by bank deposits, which that's another funny thing in itself because bank deposits are never like before the panorama, I want to say. I think it became a law that banks did not to have to hold any reserves, like literally 0%, which is freaking crazy and scary and not really sustainable. So we'll see. So it's weird that they're doing it one-to-one by bank deposits. Anyways, JPM coin operates on Base, part of Coinbase. Interesting, right? I'm telling you, USDC is going to be this the world, and Coinbase is going to be like the big bank moving forward. They also plan to expand to clients of clients and add other currencies pending regulatory approval. JPM coin will also be accepted as collateral on Coinbase. Also, JP Morgan and DBS Bank team up on cross-border tokenized deposit framework. It will allow for real-time cross-border transfers of tokenized deposits between institutions, aims to set new standards for interoperability and in digital payments. I don't know. This story is more interesting to me, and shout out to everybody holding XLM. So Stellar Blockchain to power Turbo Energy's tokenized clean energy financing initiative. Okay. And we talk about XLM here and there, but basically, NASDAQ listed Turbo Energy is using Stellar to tokenize debt for financing hybrid solar and battery projects. The tokenized debt represents fractional shares of project financing and allows for multiple investors to participate in lowering entry barriers for renewable energy investments. And that's pretty much it for the show today, guys. I know we got that fast. J. Pocahontas Morgan. Fractional reserve banking typically holds 7%. Thank you for sharing that, Lawrence. Yeah, I'm not like super well versed in that, but it is what it is. But it's just kind of crazy to see all this stuff coming to fruition. But anyways, you guys, I got to work on other media for you. And then Lo and I have got a busy day today. We've got lots of extracurricular activities. And I want to take a nap at some point. And I want to also drink my stuff. And I probably have more cake. I went to the grocery store yesterday and I got some s'mores cake. I'm not supposed to have it, but I am. Oh, also too, I'm not live streaming tomorrow because I have a personal appointment, but I'm going to drop. Oh, actually, no, I will. I will be live streaming, but it's going to be at like 9 a.m. I think, or 8:30 a.m., something like that. But I'll be live streaming. Anyways, thank you guys so much for support. Have a good rest of your day. I'm sending you all love and light, and just continue to be